one that had a happy ending for the Huskers, their fans, and for Tom Osborne. The win over the Sooners was the 250th of his career, a milestone that he reached faster than anyone in history, and one his team was determined to give him.
It's something special, and to do it for Coach Osborne, be a part of, and you know, he's like second father to most of us on the team, and it's something I'll never forget. Got to play for the best college coach in history.
It didn't take long for the victory party to get started. On the fifth play from scrimmage, Octavius McFarland scooped up a Sooner fumble and raced 43 yards to set up the game's first score.
Here's 20 running down the left side of the line, lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by one of the Huskers by Octavius McFarland. He's to the 35-30, 25-20, still at the 15, and is finally dragged down at the 8-yard line.
A trademark of the NU-OU rivalry was its back-and-forth battles and down-to-the-wire finishes. The 97 edition wasn't one of them. Thanks to big hits and big plays, like Bobby Newcomb's 57-yard punt return, Nebraska scored early and often in a 20-0 first quarter.
Growing up in Nebraska, you know, you always see the great games when I was younger and stuff, remembering like the battles they'd go through and the tradition that Coach Osborne always talks about. And no, I knew we'd beat them pretty good, you know, if everybody played well, but I never figured we'd shut them out like that.
It was a bad day for the Sooners, in part because Grant Wistrom enjoyed one of his best days as a Husker. The senior All-American led the Big Red with 10 tackles, including 4 for losses, in helping to dismantle the Sooner attack and prove once again that he was the Big 12's best defensive player.
We knew starting at the beginning of the year we were going to be a little soft early in the year, but as the year went on and the young guys got game experience, that we were going to be pretty salty at the end of the season. And right now that's the way it's looking.
Wistrom and company forced 7 first-half fumbles and recovered 4. Each time, the Husker offense took full advantage, scoring 20 points off turnovers, including 6 on a dazzling catch by Newcomb on NU's first play of the second quarter.
Scott Frost to rifle it down the field. Newcomb's out there. He got it. He's to the 5. He'll score.
And I got in there, and Scott was like, "Get open." You know, he told me right in my eyes, looking straight in the eye, and told me that. And I got out there, and I looked the guy straight in his eye, and he was trying to play a little bumper run coverage. And I gave him a little move to the outside and went up underneath him, and Scott hit me perfectly. I just caught the ball and ran the end zone, and since that was my first touchdown, I got a little excited.
For the quarterback turned wingback, it was a big play kind of day that added even more sparkle to a very bright future.
Coach is starting to use me a lot more in the game now. He's showing a lot more confidence in me that I can get the job done when I'm out there. And it's a great feeling being able to contribute to the team.
While the sky above was putting on a colorful show, the Battle of the Big Reds belonged to Nebraska. While the Sooners totaled just 154 yards against the Blackshirts, the Huskers ran for more than 400 thanks to a pair of 100-yard rushers in Amon Green and Joel Makovica, who also scored a fullback record 3 touchdowns. When it was over, it wasn't close, as NU dominated 69-7 and posted its 7th straight win in the series. It was the kind of performance that made one Oklahoman happy to be a Husker.
I played well, and our whole team played well, and we just went out there and dominated those guys. And it's just a good thing to know for myself that I made the right decision on what school to come to, and that way I don't have to look back and have any regrets.
The game, as it turned out, was a mere formality for a post-game celebration that was 25 years and 250 wins in the making. Long after the sun and the rainbows had given way to the bright lights of Memorial Stadium, Tom Osborne finally took center stage, where the Nebraska football family awaited to share in his record-breaking moment.
Coach Osborne, on behalf of the Nebraska football teams over the past 25 years and the 1997 Nebraska football team, we'd like to thank you and congratulate you on your 250th victory over 25 years.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the players. I'd like to thank the coaches. Given us a great effort, tremendous dedication over a long period of time, and above all, I'd like to thank the fans. You've been very faithful, very loyal. Appreciate it very much.
Tom, we know that you always pass the credit on to somebody else, but great leaders make great programs, and Nebraska thanks you. Go Big Red.
As he stood with his players, coaches, family, and friends, fireworks lit up the sky above to honor his unprecedented achievement. His record for years has ranked him alongside the legends of the game. But on this particular night, Tom Osborne stood alone as the greatest coach of all time. No doubt about it.
When you mention the legends of college football, his name has to be one of the names mentioned. And, I feel honored to play for him. I feel honored to, not just for the 250th win, but every time I step on the practice field. I mean, he's a great man, and Coach Osborne is why Nebraska football is as good as it is today.
He's a great guy. I wouldn't want to play for anybody else. And, Coach Osborne will go down in history as one of the best coaches I think ever coached a game. Just, his record speaks for itself. I think the better you get to know him, the more you like him.